With March 3, 2023, marking the arrival of the epic big screen adaptation, Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, novices and neophytes have plenty of time to become introduced to the game and get acquainted with the source material. The best place for finding in-depth video tutorials about how to master the definitive RPG is YouTube, where several expert gamers and dungeon masters alike have collated the best gaming tips, character advice, and playthrough precautions for gamers to achieve the utmost success. Whether focusing on story, combat, crafting, mastering, or another key gameplay element, the best D&D YouTube channels offer granular specifics on how to build the most impressive worlds possible. The DM Lair, with roughly 120k subscribers to date, Luke Hart runs the DM Lair, one of the most thorough, entertaining, and helpful YouTube guides that covers a wide array of D&D topics. As a dungeon master himself, Hart provides hundreds of D&D mastering tips, as well as a highly informative in-depth video series for beginners through his D&D Adventure Creation Guide. With live Q&As, helpful advice on how to deal with cheaters, and a magnetic sense of humor that will keep novices returning, few D&D learning channels are as detailed and complete as the DM Lair. Hart even provides D&D product and convention reviews to keep gamers abreast of the latest developments. WebDM, hosted by longtime D&D gamers Pruitt and Jim Davis, Wove parlayed their wealth of experience to amass 190k subscribers. WebDM is another ideal YouTube learning guide for those who want to become dungeon masters. The incredibly informative page has everything novices need to know about the rules, regulations, basic gameplay functions, and advanced strategy, and even which apps dungeon masters need. While Pruitt and Davis tend to focus on dungeon mastering, their page offers a wealth of knowledge for non-mastering players, including breaking down character concepts and classes, fighting tactics, skills and ability checks, and more. They cover worldbuilding, campaigning, weapons, locations, and everything a novice needs to get started. Dungeon Dudes, with over 380k subscribers, the Dungeon Dudes, Kelly McLaughlin and Monty Martin, understand how to build the most formidable D&D characters better than most and offer their extensive knowledge in some of the most entertaining and easy-to-follow tutorials around. For those looking to create a character built for the long haul, Dungeon Dudes has them covered. Beyond boasting exhaustive tips and tutorials that explain the basic rules of the game and which D&D mistakes to avoid, the YouTube page explains how to cast spells, enact rituals, run basic and advanced combat, handle stealth missions, contend with specific monsters, and even understand class stratification. The Dungeon Dudes even started the Dungeons of Drakkenheim campaign, a live video playthrough series for fans to follow. Don't Stop Thinking, employing an easily digestible animation video style, Don't Stop Thinking is a great tutorial page for both new D&D players and aspiring DMs alike. The short, amusing videos are clear, concise, yet intricately detailed enough to turn beginners into experts in no time. With 1 million view videos for such accessible topics as how to play Dungeons & Dragons 5e and how to dungeon master for absolute beginners, Don't Stop Thinking is extremely valuable for those coming into the game blind, especially for those who don't want to sit around for overwhelming multi-hour video guides. All Things D&D, approaching 250,000 subscribers, All Things D&D is ideal for new D&D gamers who learn best through listening. The audio-based site offers peer-to-peer feedback as gamers share their D&D stories and experiences in one place, allowing others to learn what to do and what not to do in key scenarios. Anyone who's had a memorable D&D playthrough can share the specific details with the channel, which will narrate and animate their stories for them for everyone to enjoy. With shorter videos that never eclipse 30 minutes, All Things D&D is a wonderful place to convene with fellow D&D beginners and experts and audiophiles who prefer to learn by sitting back and soaking up oral playthrough guides. Matthew Colville boasting over 400k subscribers, Matthew Colville is arguably the most authoritative voice in the realm of online D&D tutorials. His step-by-step video series Running the Game is among the most informative and helpful guides for new players to dive right in, start their first adventure, play their first session, making first characters, all the way to priceless endgame strategies. Also included are campaign diaries, world-building tips, advice on dealing with dead ends, exploring sociological themes in the game, and a lot more. Matthew Colville's YouTube page is paramount for neophytes destined to become the most effective dungeon masters around. Dungeon Craft, led by Professor Dungeon Master, Dungeon Craft is another popular YouTube learning guide that provides a wealth of information on how to run a D&D game. The site covers the basic rules, how to run the game, craft, explore the terrain, collect items, paint minis, and a lot more. With an emphasis on classic retro-style gaming, Professor DM keeps his students engaged by making short sub-10-minute videos that include tips for teens, top 5 rules nobody uses, why certain characters are expendable, which D&D classes gamers should play as, and more. With full campaign playthroughs, news, advice, and the latest D&D reviews, Dungeon Craft is ideal for hardcore DMs who want to take their stewardship to the next level. Mrex, with over 780k followers, Mrex has one of the most definitive D&D YouTube tutorials. With a heavy emphasis on story, few pages delve as deeply and informatively into the D&D lore and backstories as Mrex. Between the D&D lore and the D&D commentary series, the page offers more extensive know-how than many expert gamers. Whether breaking down usable equipment in the game, storytelling tropes, ranking character classes, or revealing a slew of secrets regarding mind flayers, chimeras, beholders, modrons, and other creatures, Mrex understands that to conquer the game, one must first understand the history of the fantasy role-playing affair. DM it all. Those who learn visually through osmosis may want to check out the 20-30-minute D&D walkthroughs that DM it all has to offer. The relatively new YouTube page focuses on adventuring, gameplay analysis, obscure trivia, and where to find hidden D&D Easter eggs, and takes a deep dive into D&D books as it relates to tabletop gaming history. While the site leans toward dungeon mastering, it also traces the evolution of D&D from its inception to the modern era, which is sure to pay dividends for new and expert gamers alike. Moreover, the site uses the history of the popular RPG to contextualize how video games have led to cutting-edge designs and developments in the industry. Critical Role, easily the #1 D&D YouTube channel on record, Critical Role has amassed 1.8 million subscribers thanks to its expert panel of professional voice actors, including the Dungeon Master himself, Matt Mercer, who improve and LARP their way through one highly amusing D&D campaign after another. For experts and beginners alike who want to learn more about the extensive D&D mythology and witness firsthand how to navigate the hardest aspects of the game, no site is better or more thorough. Whether chronicling the history of Exandria or offering full campaign playthroughs for Vox Machina, Mighty 9, and Hell's Bells, Critical Role goes live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to keep new and old D&D gamers abreast of what the latest info players need to know for optimal playthroughs. Most of all, the sheer star power of the actors and the genuine fun they have will turn skeptics into instant D&D converts.